Here is a man who changed how the world saw people with speech disfluencies. He used his own struggles with stuttering to learn more about the speech impediment and explore new avenues of speech therapy that could help both children and adults. He is the man who would, for years, walk to the doorstep and say hello to the world. He was a true romantic and a dreamer, who not only welcomed each day with joy and zest, but who also overcame his own speech impediment that once forbade him from doing so. He wasn't always the successful researcher, therapist, and academician the world knows him to be. Charles Van Riper began stuttering at the age of 2. He spent the first quarter of his life struggling to get the words out of him. He was a man who had a lot to share, but his stuttering made it almost impossible to even say his own name. As a youth, his stuttering became so debilitating that he chose to run away from his friends and family and spent his days as a hired hand at a farm. He pretended to be deaf and mute for a month because he was so plagued by his stuttering. He found hope in the most unexpected place when he hopped into a stranger's car for a ride back home. As he tried to say his own name, he made gestures and contorted facial muscles, and the driver of the car said something that would inspire Van Riper to approach stuttering entirely differently. The man said that his own stuttering was so bad that eventually he gave up struggling. As he aged, he simply let the words flow out on their own. That is when Van Riper knew that he was tiring himself out by fighting with his own stutter. He could simply let the repetitions, blocks, and prolongations flow out as they came, and eventually, the word he desired to say would follow. That is how Dr. Van Riper we know today found his footing back in academics and research. He had found a new way to approach the speech problem he had, and he had found the motivation to study speech impediments in others who needed help. He may have had a miserable childhood due to his speech disfluencies, but he dedicated the lion's share of his life to make life a little bit better for others with similar speech impediments through his research, publication, and daily work. He was a man who saw the extraordinary and mundane things. Despite being the pioneer of modern speech therapy, Charles Van Riper stuttered throughout most of his life. However, he did not let stuttering get in his way. He inspired thousands of students, academicians, therapists, and clients through his dedicated work on speech pathology. Van Riper knew how to turn every adverse situation into an opportunity. Are you someone who stutters as well? Stammeri is here to help you find the opportunity in the face of adversity.